Alright, so hello everybody. We are looking at musculoskeletal health issues, and here we have our first case study today. So it says here that it shows a normal human joint, and on the right we have the deteriorating joints. So as we can see here, it wants us to explain the health problems faced by the elderly when suffering from joint disease. So they didn't tell us what disease P is, but we can see that there are significantly joints here that are sort of like bent. They are not in their regular state. So most likely when it's due to joints, alright, because it's joints, not the bone, it's due to osteoarthritis, alright? Or you can say it's arthritis. How do we know it's not anything else? First and foremost, it happens in the elderly, okay? So here is the elderly. So we can rule out things like osteomalacia, which are more common in children. So osteomalacia, most common in children and pregnant women. Okay. So on the right side here, we can also see that it is not osteoporosis because it's due to joints. And osteoporosis is the increase in the size of the pores in the bone. So this is like normal. Here is the one with the osteoporosis. So osteo means bone, porosis means pores, 有很多洞口. So for osteoarthritis, when you want to answer the question, the first point is the disease. So you name the disease. This gives you your first point. The second and third to your fourth points are talking about 什么东西可以造成 osteoarthritis, 还有它的 effects, which is what the question wants. So first and foremost, osteoarthritis 我们懂 joint 之间我们有这个 synovial membrane, 对不对？我们有这个 synovial membrane. 这样这个 synovial membrane 的用处来做，我们其实 produce synovial fluid. 这样我们懂 synovial fluid 的 function 是用来 lubricate 弄滑骨与骨之间嘛，因为这两个是骨嘛。所以如果你有试过踢足球、打篮球还是玩 any sports， 当你的骨、你的脚的骨直接打在人家的骨上面，尤其是踢球的时候，你会觉得很痛啊。如果我们有 synovial fluid 的话，这样我们之间的骨这样子 between the joints， 它一直会，我们每次走路的时候还会打来打去。So this will actually hurt and cause a lot of pain. Okay, so that's why in people with osteoarthritis they have decreased production of synovial fluid. Now the second thing is also when there's decreased synovial fluid, the cartilage between the bones will also start wearing out. 它会 thin out. 就因为我们一直摩擦嘛，这样你们有试过，你们交叉，你就擦，是不是慢慢变小变扁？一样的道理。当我们没有这个 synovial fluid， 当我们这个 cartilage 它一直用来摩擦之间那骨头的话，它会开始慢慢的没有。OK， 然后 is due to friction。所以当这两个东西是 what causes our osteoarthritis， 它的 effects 第一个 effect 就是会发炎，它会有 inflammation。So most people that you see here, over at this spot here, usually you can see it swelling one, right? There's like a little bump here maybe, right? Or there's redness, there's redness, swelling. There's also like very immense pain. You're very sensitive to pain as well, right? So why? Is because the bones are constantly knocking into each other. So here you have your phalanges, right? 这边就是你的 phalanges, right? So 这边可能是你的 carpals, okay? So 你的 phalanges 跟 carpals， 如果你记得你的 Form 4 Chapter 14的 anatomy 的话，这样它会一直打来打去，摩擦，causing a lot of pain during movement, okay? 尤其是在老人家 ，okay? This is not only exclusive in the hands， 它也可以在脚，尤其是你的 knees 那边啊。所以你的 knees 那边也是一样。为什么人家走路会痛？因为那边，因为 because of osteoarthritis, right? So first point, disease. We have 2 points here that talks about the causes, and lastly 2 points that talks about the effects. So let's move on to the second problem here, which is an athlete is late to the competition, causing him not to have enough time to do warm-up exercises, and explain what might happen to the athlete as a result of negligence. So 你们可以想一下，直接可以想一下用 common sense。如果我们运动没有热身的话，会造成什么？ 很容易的就是你们想一下，就会有 cramps 抽筋，或者是会容易拉到我们的 muscles 啊。如果你们只是记得这两个的话，你们不记得它的 mechanism 的话，应该是够你拿2分了，1-2分这样子啊。So it's not a total loss, but now we are trying to explore what happens if you don't warm up and its mechanisms. So 首先，如果你不 warm up 的话，你的身体的 temperature 会不会很低啊？但是我们原因就是我们要 warm up，就是为了 increase 我们 body temperature. So what happens if we increase our body temperature? Our blood vessels will dilate. Okay, why does it dilate? It dilates because it wants to radiate heat. 它要释放那些热量出来的，它要释放那些 heat 出来，对不对？所以同时间呢，它把那个 blood vessel 弄到很大 ，which increases the oxygen traveling rate of oxygen transport. 啊，所以这个是为什么热身 ？OK， 所以我们用这个framework 来去找我们的答案。所以首先我们会讲 lesser O2 will travel in the blood. So what happens if you have very little oxygen? 你的 muscles， 也就是你的 muscle cells made out of a lot of muscle cells, don't have oxygen for cellular respiration. 这是有关于的 Form 4 Chapter 4这边写 Form 4 Chapter 7 sorry. So 你的 muscle cells 它要做很多 exercise， 要需要很多 energy， 它就会去做 lactic acid fermentation， 它会直接 break down glucose into energy and lactic acid。这样我们知道，如果你 produce 太多 lactic acid 的话， you can cause fatigues and cramps. So this is the result of not warming up. Now， 这个是比较 scientific Form 4 Chapter 7那边。OK， 你也可以这边讲 oxygen debt 也可以这边讲the body will be actually will be in an oxygen debt， 也可以这样讲。Okay， here we want to talk about the next point is we want to talk about how are the muscles tight. Alright， so when the blood capillaries are constricted, meaning 它们小的时候，因为我们的 temperature 很低嘛，对不对？像我们 blood constricted， 我们的 blood vessels blood capillaries 全部会变小。那如果它小的话，不够 blood flow， 也就不够 oxygen， it will cause our muscles, okay, to remain very tight, right? Our muscle cells to remain very tight. So there's no loosening lah. Okay. So this can cause our muscle fibers to easily tear or get easily pulled. Because remember, 我们的 muscle 是通常是 contract, right? 它是 contract 还有 relax excuse me. So 当它 contract 的时候，它不够松的时候，它就很容易的撕掉。It will cause injuries, alright? So here, apart from the muscle fibers tearing, ligaments that connect your bone to your bone can also easily tear. Tendons connecting your muscle to your bones can also easily rupture. So all these are called injuries. So an example will be here. Okay, I'll draw again. So imagine this is your bicep, right? Okay, here's your bicep. Here's the tendon, this red color here, right? So 如果你不够 warm up 的话，如果你的 tendon 这边 snap 掉的话，突然间它没有了 ，right? You will then cause this whole thing, this whole muscles to be unable to transfer the pull force， 因为你在拉上去嘛，对不对？这样你记得你的 tendon 是什么 function 吗？它是要 transfer the pull force。这样如果你没有 tendon 的话，你就没有 pull force， 造成你把那个东西你把那个东西拉不到上来。So instead of able to pull the thing upwards, it will 突然间 fall down like this. This is your hand, this is your muscle like that. Okay. This is your tendon. This one don't have tendon. No tendon. Okay. So here, it can be also be caused by inverse stretch reflex malfunction. 这是 extra information， 不要去理太多。但是 inverse stretch reflex malfunction 就是你的身体其实如果你 muscle contract 不要这样多的话，它会叫你放手。但是如果你没有这个 inverse stretch reflex 去叫你的话，就代表坏了的话，你的 muscle 会死命拉到你这个 tendon 断掉为止。所以这个 inverse stretch reflex 很重要啦，因为我们只是学过 stretch reflex， inverse stretch reflex 就是 the opposite So stretch reflex 就是如果我们 stretch 一个东西太多的话，它会叫我们把那东西 contract 回去。这个就是刚好相反，这是 contract 太多的话，它叫我们 stretch 回去啊，right? So these are the results. Usually it's muscle cramps, fatigue, or can easily pull or tear your muscle fibers, ligaments, or your tendons. So that is all for health issues related to musculoskeletal system.